And we want to get to breaking news right now. SkyCal over the protest there in downtown LA.
That's right. You can see the police officers underneath Cesar Chavez Avenue right now. Let's go upstairs now to Desmond Shaw live in SkyCal with this update. Desmond?
Yeah, Susie and Leslie, this is basically right underneath Union Station here on Cesar Chavez. You can see this tunnel. That's where a big group of the protesters have basically been corralled inside of this tunnel, and LAPD is getting ready to arrest as many as 200 people, they're saying. Obviously, really hard to see in this tunnel. We can see quite a few of them just a few moments ago, but it looks like LAPD has kind of forced them over to the sidewalks inside of that tunnel. You can see a couple of them right underneath in this area. So, you know, for hours, this has been an unlawful assembly, and they still kind of just, you know, were allowing people to go parade around downtown. We saw a lot of protesters on the freeway earlier as well. Well, this group right now is getting ready to be arrested, and there's another group in downtown off of Main and Temple they're talking about trying to just basically end that situation there as well. So just in a couple of moments, we're expecting to see LAPD moving in with zip ties and processing people. And yes, they will be arrested after several hours of this being an unlawful assembly. Leslie and Susie, back to you.
Rallying for immigrant rights. Tonight, protesters have taken over streets in downtown LA, and KCAL's Jeff Nguyen is live where protesters have been rounded up inside a tunnel, Jeff.
Yeah, that's right. So this is Cesar Chavez, the 200 block of Cesar Chavez. For those of us who grew up in Southern California, especially in Los Angeles, this is the old Brooklyn Street. So this is a tunnel, as Ben Priestley walks right behind us. You can see a number of Metropolitan Police officers right here in your foreground. And then in the background, up against the wall, there are up to about 200 people that are being detained right now. I just spoke to one of the sergeants from the Hollywood Division, and he tells me that a number of these protesters who were basically running around downtown earlier, they ultimately ran into the tunnel. When they did that, Metropolitan Division basically surrounded them on both sides of the tunnel, and that's why they are basically sitting on the ground right now. A number of the supervisors out here tell us that these people are going to be arrested. Now, that could mean a combination of things. Some people will be cited and released. However, other people might be taken to jail tonight, depending upon what is alleged against them. But you can see right now, certainly a lot of noise in here, and there are just dozens and dozens of LAPD officers with their riot gear on while they get ready to process all of these folks that have been detained. Let's go ahead and do this because we want to show you exactly how dangerous this night has become. Take a look at this video. This is video that we shot earlier. Take a look how dangerous it is of a convertible Mustang doing donuts. Two people are in the back seat recording on their phone when the rear left wheel smacks right into the curb. Now, the force of that sending one of the passengers' phones flying through the air. We had a sense that something bad was going to happen because moments earlier, that same driver was whipping donuts right in front of the path of a moving Metro bus, narrowly missing the bus as it drove through the intersection. And after that, after the Mustang crashed, a mob of young people surrounded it, and a young woman was holding onto the side of the convertible when the driver stepped on the gas, and that young woman went face first into the pavement. And then there was this video. This man was waving a flag at the middle of the intersection when a motorcycle hits him, and the man goes down very hard. Earlier, we saw the LAPD declaring an unlawful assembly, which meant officers could move in and arrest people if they did not leave. They kept demonstrators off the 101 freeway by deploying officers to the on and off ramps. And at around 7:30 this evening, most of the people near the freeway had dispersed, but then hundreds of them shifted to the corner of Main and Temple, where you saw all of that dangerous behavior right outside of LA City Hall. Now, the backstory on this, as you know, since taking office on January 20th, President Trump has acted on his campaign promise to increase deportation deportations. The administration has been promising to expel people from the country who are here illegally, particularly those charged or convicted of crimes. And last month, the New York Times and Ipsos did a poll that found about 55% of Americans surveyed support the president's deportation plans. We asked a number of demonstrators tonight about that poll and why they came out to protest.
Not only is it me, I have a kid as well. And I wouldn't want my kid to be targeted and to be separated from me, even though he's a U.S. citizen. So that is a big thing, because in my neighborhood, even in these streets, I am being targeted just because of the way I look, just because of the language that I speak.
My parents are immigrants, and I always grew up fearing that, one day I was going to come home from school and they were just not going to be there anymore. And so I just feel like it's important, to be out here.
It shows me that the majority of people understand what President Trump's plan is all about. We understand the difference between legal and illegal immigration, and we understand that his plan to start with felonious criminal aliens, that people who cause DUIs and accidents and do other crimes, they're the first to go.
So back here live on Cesar Chavez, where you can see hundreds of people have been detained inside this tunnel. The LAPD, at least one of the supervisors, told us that the people basically ran into this tunnel, and when they did that, they were met by LAPD officers on both sides of the tunnel. At this point, it is believed about up to 200 people have been detained. Some of them will be cited and released with a citation. Others will be arrested. At this point, we have not heard of any claims of any sort of injuries for the time being. But that's the latest from the situation right here. As you look around, you have just dozens and dozens of Metropolitan Division police officers ready to process all of these folks who have been detained. Reporting live in downtown Los Angeles, just outside of Chinatown, Jeff Nguyen, KCAL News.
All right, that should take some time. Thank you so much for that, Jeff. We'll be getting back to you. But now we want to go up to our Desmond Shaw. He continues our team coverage live from SkyCal. And Des, you're over protesters in a different part of downtown LA?
That's right, Pat, right by LA City Hall, Temple and Main right here, where LAPD actually at this moment looks like they may be taking kind of a defensive position. A small cadre of officers showed up, and as soon as they got there, about a dozen or so people fled the scene. This is a small but very boisterous group of protesters, that's for sure. And in fact, we just heard LAPD say there was concern that there might be people up here on this pedestrian overcrossing throwing things at them. So I think they're kind of just changing their tactics here at backing up to where they're not in such a vulnerable position. You also had kind of some high ground right here where some people were stationed. So we'll see what they're going to do next. Maybe once they're done with the group over where Jeff is at over there off of Cesar Chavez underneath Union Station, they may end up, getting some reinforcements over here because, again, this is, an unlawful assembly for hours. And they've also had a lot of people trapped at these intersections. I've just been seeing people sitting here for, upwards of a half hour just trying to get through, and protesters won't let them through the streets. So kind of interesting to see LAPD backing up right here. I'm sure they're going to be calling for backup and trying to disperse this crowd. So it just is not ending yet. Been going on all day long, and it's a lot more diffuse at this point, but still pretty rowdy out here in downtown. Pat, back to you now in the studio.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that question, Desmond, noticing them back up like that. Were they opening? I see one lane or a couple of lanes that are open. Is that maybe, are they trying to redirect these people?
I think they're trying to get away from the pedestrian overcrossing right here where they thought that they might have been, that people might have been throwing stuff at them. So they wanted to get away and basically not have that on one side of the protesters on the other. They kind of wanted to just, get everything in front of them, it looks like. So, yeah, not too many people left here, but these are, kind of the more hardcore supporters. Is kind of how it goes a lot of times with these protests as the day progresses. A lot of people leave, but the ones who stick around, as we see a lot more officers now coming into this intersection right now, again, right in front of LA City Hall. So these are usually the hardest ones to get to finally disperse.
Okay, yeah, we can still see those skid marks in the middle of that intersection there where they were doing donuts. I think that's the scene that you were over earlier. A lot to be cleaned up there.
Yes. Yeah, and Jeff had that. I saw Jeff's report in the 8 o'clock hour with that the crazy Mustang, and just, you know, I thought someone was going to fall out of that vehicle. So, not seeing any donuts at the moment. Anyway, I guess you know, we'll count that as some good news. But you know, LAPD really at this point just wanting everyone to go home for the night.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. As you said, we've witnessed these protests before that have some gotten out of hand, and that's certainly what the officers don't want. And you're certainly not supposed to throw things at officers, and that's more reason to make it an unlawful assembly there. So we hope that things get even more calm than what we have seen throughout the evening. So Des, thank you for that report. We'll be getting back to you, of course, throughout the hour here.